Hello and welcome back to the channel. And I suppose a lot of you have been asking yourself, what's Dan bought? What's a 3-door rear wheel drive car? What could it be? A few years got quite close, I must admit. I didn't give much information because I knew you would guess it. So here I am down at the lockup. I'm going to put this off the road for the month because I've gathered it's pretty much pointless having the Mercedes and this on the road, because I've also got my ML on the road as well. 3 cars is just a little bit too much to be taxing. So luckily I've got this garage to use till the end of the month. Well, maybe 3 weeks. So I've just thought 3 weeks, may as well lock the Leon away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them side by side in a bit. But for now I'm going to do the reveal. So I'm going to give a little bit more few clues before I actually open the garage of what it could be. So like I've said, rear wheel drive, 3-door. How many cars is there like that? It's the 2.2 diesel. It's a diesel. Well, actually, technically a 2.1, but they call it that. Anything more? Or shall I just open the garage? I think I'll just open the garage, shall we? So here we go for the reveal. Lift it up if it hasn't locked itself, which it hasn't. No, it's not a Sierra. No, it's not what have I had, MR2. Nothing that glamorous, but I've always loved these things. Absolutely loved them. Like I've said, it's 2.2, 2.1, whatever you want to call it. Diesel, bulletproof. It's in all the Sprinter vans, right across all the C-Class, the E-Class, the whole lot. It's a perfect engine in these because this is just a little compact version. But the main reason I want this, the guy's had it for years and years and years, and it has never left this garage in the winter. Or even in the rain in the summer. And I think it's only done a couple of 1,000 miles in the last 10 years, if that. So it's just been locked away in here, all the UV kept off it, all the rest of it, you know, like carpets on the floor. I'll get it out and I'll show you guys it because it is something a little bit special. So I'm just going to pause and pull it out the garage. So yeah, here we have it. The C-Class Coupe. Basically, the closest match you'll find, I think, to a BMW Compact, which was one of my first ever performance cars I had. I think it was my third car I ever had when I was 18. 325 Compact, and these were always a contender. But like my Honda Civic, these have got exactly the same back end as the Honda Civic, with that extra little bit of glass which loops around the back. Of course, no rear wiper, but you can't do nothing about that. But this car, trust us, is as good as new. It smells like new, drives like new. It's only got 52,000 miles. Remember, that's these bulletproof diesels. I can see well over 200,000 miles. I would say the next contender to the PD, actually. Well-proven engine, absolutely no rust. And when I mean none, I really do mean none. That's just a bit of muck. Even the brake calipers, they have not been painted, by the way. That is original Mercedes brake caliper. No rust on it. I've never seen anything like it, to be quite honest. I love the colour. Obviously, as you can see, it's got the full pan roof on it. I'm getting to that bit. This is the Evolution spec, the Evo spec, with the black and white leather and the full glass roof. Very rare to start with these. I can only find another handful of them. In fact, I only find one other on eBay. Obviously, you've got your electric folding mirrors with the LED indicators. We'll get a look along that paintwork. There's not been a single scab of rust. Again, front brake calipers. I can't stress enough, they have not been painted. They are original. But are they original Mercedes pads? I'm not sure. Probably not. But the alloys are perfect. Not a mark. Love these front ends. Personally think this is the W... I think it's something that I forgot what it is. I think it's the... I forgot the code of it, but there's the one that follows this. I personally think this is a much better looking car. So that's the 203. This is the W203, then the W204 followed. Wasn't keen on the W204 whatsoever. Excuse me if those numbers are incorrect. Again, front fogs and everything, cornering lights on it. Not a mark, and I mean not a mark. One bit of damage on it, which I'll show you, which I've already sorted out. Again, round to these calipers, like brand new. And if anybody knows these Mercedes, what the rust like on the body, like my ML, like I've said, rear wheel drive. It's booked down as 150 brake, but I'm thinking about the only money I might spend on this is get a stage 1 remap on it, because these engines have got a lot more to give. But I want to do some work on finding out about the gearboxes. I think they're really solid gearboxes in these to start with, especially with this mileage on. But we'll get to the interior in a minute. I'll quickly show you the roof, obviously. So you've got your nice glass piece here, which pops up, and the whole thing slides back. But even underneath this is solid glass, and glass down the back. I'll show you better inside why it's called the Evolution spec, because basically right from the bottom of the windscreen wipers across and down, even down to this bit here, is just glass the whole way around. It's fantastic. Onto the bad bits, and believe it or not, this is the first car that I really don't have to spend not a penny on it. Actually, the only bad bit is it's a very, very early one with the DPF. As you can see, it's got the really clean exhaust, so unfortunately it's got DPF, but this guy's hardly ever even used it, and it's never given me any hassle. So the way I drive it, giving it good runs and stuff, I don't think that's going to be an issue. But the only issue that's actually happened on this car is the seatbelt got slammed in the door, which I'm going to get a touch-up pen to touch that in, but it broke the speaker. But I've actually got one of these ordered from Mercedes, the speaker grill, sorry, £35. Yes, I know it's a lot of money, but I want it right, because it's the only thing with the car that lets it down, and it just pops off. So that's coming next week on Tuesday. And like I mentioned, it's been the Evolution spec. The mats which match is you get your black and white leather, perforated leather in the centre. Absolutely immaculate. I love this car, I really do. I've always wanted it. Obviously, pull that forward. Back seats have never been sat in. There will be when I get the kids in the back, but I'm going to be putting some kind of seat cover down, and I'll show you better in depth about the roof when I get into the car. Rear ventilation. And do you know what it is? This is one of the very few cars I've ever bought that I don't need to do anything to it. It's had full servicing done by us. It's been serviced half the time when it doesn't even need serviced. It's just to keep it right for the 12 monthlies. But it's got everything I want, all like the airbag. It's a nice colour interior. I mean, it's the more modern look. We'll get into that. I'll jump into it in a second. We'll open the boot. And again, yes, it's a 3-door. It's not particularly as ideal as a 5-door, but at least it's not a coupe. At least it's just a straightforward hatchback. And I don't think the guy's realised he's left this stuff in here. I'll put it back in the garage for him. Umbrellas and stuff. But it's even got the original. Actually, it's a BMW, Matt. Don't know what that's doing in there, but I'll keep it. He's even got cellophane down in the back to stop any dirt getting in. No doubt under here it'll be like brand new. He's got, it's like a weird like tyre that you've got to actually inflate to get it to fit. Why? Because the rear diff is behind there, 'cause it's rear wheel drive, so you're limited for space. He's really looked after it. You can just see the dogs are just definitely not getting into this car ever. Really, the only thing that I'm not too happy about is when I was watching the guy driving it the other day, because the top of these lights, I'll get out the sun, because the top of these lights are darkened out to match this area of like plastic, the brake lights are absolutely shockingly dull on this blank. It's bright on that. But what I'm going to do is try and get some LED, if it doesn't set the canvas system off, and get some brighter ones of those. Number plates, again, you'll notice now I've actually got 2 Mercedes. Me ML is at 54, this is 05, both bought from the same place, Clifton Car Sales. I do recommend those guys a lot, actually. I'm not sure if they've shut down now, but I went with that Mercedes in 2006 to buy that one with the lady, and I was involved when the guy bought this. And every car that I've noticed has come from there. It's been an absolute corker. I don't mind having this on here, the Clifton Car Sales on the number plates, but I think I'll be taking that off the window. Let us know on the thing, should I or should I not? If it was an original Mercedes one from when the car was originally bought, I would leave it for originality, but that's just a little bit of an eyesore. It's nothing against the garage, as I've just mentioned, but I don't know. We'll see about that. But yeah, first car I've ever bought. He's had it waxed, polished. He used to come down here and do it. In fact, he's told us, I'm not going to be greedy and take stuff, but he's left some polish here for us and said I can keep it. But I don't know which one but you can just see he's fine with this filament here. Leather care, auto glim, extra gloss protection, super resin polish, glass polish. You know, this guy is paint clean, all the rest of it. he's been coming down here really looking after this car. This was his pride and joy. And have a look on the MOT history. There's nothing on there bad. There's a bit of play on the front bearings, but they actually just need tightened up on these because they're roller bearings on the front. So I'm going to do that next week because I've got a long drive to do in it. Only other thing I was going to consider doing is my usual. I mean, look at these. These are normally smoked and everything. I want to put some LEDs in, and I've already got the upgraded bulbs for the dip beam and that, but I'm not sure if it'll set the camber system up. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The only thing that's missing on this car, which makes it's not a big deal, is the winter pack. So you haven't got the headlight washers, and unfortunately, even though that interior is lovely, you haven't got the heated seats. But you can't have it all, can you? All brand new tyres. I think they're offset tyres as well. 225/45. 245/45. So the back ones are big and chunky, big fat tyres. I don't know if you can even see that because of the sun. But you know, rear wheel driving a little car like this, they can be a little bit snatchy, but at least you can have a bit of fun. We'll open the bonnet. There's not much to see. It's all plastic. I'll just show you the mileage there on the display. If you can see that, 52,305. Let's open that. Bar little few bits of muck, which we did because it was pouring rain when I bought this car last week. It doesn't need hoovered, it doesn't need waxed, it doesn't need cleaned, it doesn't even need fuel in. There's half a tank of fuel. It's nice to actually buy a car and know that all I've got to do is a speaker grill, and that's about it. Oh, actually, sorry, that is something which I'll go to. Typical modern car. Oh, the only thing is the battery, since he hasn't used it, can be a bit temperamental. I'm going to assess that. If it goes, it goes. I'm not bothered. I couldn't care less if I need to buy a new battery for it, but it started up there perfectly fine. I think it just needs a good run. I said your 4-cylinder, 2.1, 2.2, whatever way you want to look at it. Mercedes call it the 22, the 220, like on all the specs, you know, the E220, the C220, but it is a 2.1 4-cylinder bulletproof engine. It's in all the Mercedes Sprinters getting hammered every day, and they never have any bother. Same engine as the 5-cylinder, what we CLK had, just with a cylinder lopped off. It's a 4-cylinder, not a 5. And this is detuned to 150 brake because it's an automatic. I'm going to do a little bit of research, like I've said, and if I can do a stage 1 without it causing any damage or unnecessary stress, not that I drive it hard in the gearbox, I think it's got a lot more power to give. But you know, just the condenser, the air conditioning on it works perfectly. Everything's just, it doesn't need anything done anywhere. The only thing that was missing is whoever did a job on the aircon, the cap there, and the cap there's missing. And I am so pathetic, but when I ordered that speaker cover, I think they're only like £2 each from Mercedes. I've just ordered 2. Most people would never even realise that, but I'm just sad. So I've ordered that. Right now, we'll jump inside the car. Excuse my sniffling, because I've just had to pause the video and have a sneezing fit because my hay fever is starting to play up again for some reason. I've been fine for the last week. But again, in here, I've showed you on the back seats, they're like brand new Evolution. You've got your seatbelt bucklers here. Jump in and I'll show you. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the car around because the sun is directly in the camera lens. Right, so I'll spin the camera around. So obviously, as you can see, the roof is open. So we'll just hit the one button here, keep it in, and obviously it closes naturally. So there we go. That's the roof closed. So as you can see in here, it's a full, all the way from the windscreen, which I'll switch the camera around. From the windscreen, I've obviously got this little pillar here, and I'll switch the camera around. So it's glass all the way from the front to the back. My finger's going the wrong way. Back window, and even that little slit down there. Hence it's called the Evolution spec. With this interior as well. But that is just lovely. And again, hit the button again. Full electronic sun blind. It's a bit better for filming. So there you go. I think that is lovely. So onto the interior in here. Absolutely immaculate. When I mean immaculate, I mean not even a single mark or nothing. That isn't even anything wrong with it. He has his phone holder on here, and it's to stop the vent from drooping down. And believe it or not, I use the same kind of phone cradle thing, so I'm just leaving that in there. Only downside to the car, unfortunately, like I mentioned outside, it's not the winter pack one, so we don't have the heated seats. But we can't have it all, can we? Like I've said, it's 50,000 mile. this kind of system here, you've got your lock and unlock and ESP. Nice sound system. I'm not going to touch that because I'll get a copyright infringement. Phone connectivity. Aircon works absolutely ice cold, which is nice. So you can either have the luxury of having the nice glass roof open or have your air conditioning on. Autos in these are absolutely lovely. Love them. The one on the ML is great. The one the CLK had as well. Now, if I just put it into drive, what I love about these, after watching them go forward into that garage, is you can select the gears. See how it's going through them? There, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna knock it back to park. And it's great because if you're ever in a situation where you feel the automatic is revving a bit more than what you would want as a manual, you just tap the gearbox, the handle, the gear stick to the side. I'm constantly doing that in the ML because I just don't like it revving away when it doesn't need to be. So this being a diesel, it's going to have loads more torque. You'll not have that issue. But you've got your standard and comfort settings and all this nice kind of, I think, which is like, this is an 05 plate car, and I think all of this is real aluminium, real metal as well. It's like a cold feel to it. It's real quality feel. Obviously you've got your 12 volt there, somewhere to put a phone. All the climate control system. Don't know what's in there. Coin holder, he's left something in there. Cup holder, which is nice to have. Top section, and then the bottom section. Again, plenty of storage in there. Obviously, you've got your nice sporty pedals down there with the very annoying one thing I hate about Mercedes handbrake. Their parking brake, as they call it there, and the release. I'm going to be honest with you guys, never ever used one ever, and I don't intend to because they're crap. I just don't like it. It's in a horrible place. It's just not a natural position to have your leg right up here to be applying a brake. If they're automatic, as long as you're not on a massive incline, you either hold it in gear or you put it into neutral, keep your foot on the foot brake, into drive, away you go. But that's that. Again, a few things on the Leon. Now, the quality. Yes, it's VAG and all the rest of it, but there's an element of quality just not there, which this has, and a few other vehicles like what I've had. Just the quality feel of things in the era of the Seat at this time. It's lovely, it's fantastic, but I'll jump in this car at the end of revealing this one, and I'll kind of give you the idea what I'm talking about. I mean, just for one, you know, like top of the range bar a Cupra R, no cruise control. Why not? It's ridiculous. So obviously with this, I've got me not only cruise control but a limiter. I don't know why that unfocuses out when my hand comes into view. It's like a speed limit at 20, 25, 30, whatever. I love the limiter because now there's that many speed camera vans on the road. Naturally you can't drive around in a 30 zone with cruise control on. It's ridiculous. But just, you know, 1 second, press the limiter button, put it on to 30, and then you can just sit back and drive as normal, and you know that you're not going to be going over 30. Or click the limiter off, and then you've got your standard cruise control, which is on any Mercedes vehicle, like me ML, which I love. So you press up to set. Once it's set, up and down to go fast and slower, kick it back to turn it off, pull it forward to resume back where you were. One of my favourite cruise control stalks ever on these. And again, being a Mercedes, you only have one stalk, so this stalk does everything. Rain sensing wipers, light sensing lights, but all your wiper controls are on here. And then obviously your indicator, pretty standard. And then your steering wheel controls, you've got all the malarkey up there for your, I don't know, settings and God knows what, miles per gallon. There you go, 52,000 mile phone and radio connectivity here. Electronic folding mirrors, nice to have. And then out again. As you can see, that bit's squeaky because they hardly ever get used. Auto dip dim mirror on the driver's side, exactly the same as the ML. As you can see, it's a slightly different colour to that. Dip dim mirror here. All your usual controls you need up here. And nice clear dashboard, I like it. The only thing I don't like is I would like it like the CLK did to read out the display for the speedo in digital. It does it down there in kilometres. You supposedly can change them with a proper equipment, which I may look into doing, but we'll see. It's not the end of the world because on these you have the display on there anyway, so I kind of just know if I set it to 30, 40, 50, whatever, that's the speed that it is. And all the usual stuff down here, front fog lights, auto lights, all that, but obviously no headlight wash where that's where the button would be for it, and no heated seats unfortunately, and no parking sensors. But at the end of the day, it's the Evolution spec with that roof. I much prefer to have this nice big glass roof which actually works than nothing else, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to spin it round and try and get a picture with the two cars in, do a bit of a walk around, sit in the Seat, have a bit of chat with you, and I'll get back to you. So I'm just going to switch things around now and I'll come back on another video. Right then, so here we have them both parked side by side. What do I think? I never thought I would have two 50,000 by 52,000, just click 50,000. They're probably the two best diesel engines made in a long time, probably forever. And yeah, they are two completely different cars, but I can't believe two, probably of the lowest. I can't find anything near the mileage of this one, 50,000 of one of these. And I definitely can't find a Leon Cupra TDI 150 PD anywhere. Just doing a quick walk round. What do you guys think? What do you like the best? What's your favourite? What would you rather have? Naturally, the 5-door, that appeals to me a lot, but the quality and just the fact of what that is appeals to me a lot. But when I'm on about the quality though, like, it's, you know, the little bits, like, you know, like sort of the trims, these are a different era of car, you know. I mean, it's hard to explain it when you're in. It's just like, you know, why not have cruise? I don't get it. You know, but just click 50, super low mile for a PD, ice cold air conditioning, excuse the pop, cheap cola. But you know, it's just sort of the general quality and feel isn't here in this vehicle, but what it makes up for is that engine and the looks. I think it looks fantastic in that engine, by God. Do you know what it is? I feel ridiculous here. I bought that car and I didn't even drive it. And last time I did drive it must have been about 2 years ago. So that could drive like a bag of crap yet, and I'll be severely disappointed if it does. I'm not saying it will, but I haven't driven it. So I bought a car and I'm summing it up and I've not even driven it. But you know, it's just the little things on these where the quality compared to the Volkswagen and Audi of the time, Seat were just, you know, and Skoda were just popping things out the bag, so to speak, getting started, getting warming up, and they did a cracking job with this car. But you know, just like cassette player, an 04 plate car. Were cassettes even still around in 04? I don't think they were. I know it's got the disc changer in here, but you know, like, it's just, you know, and again, like, that's got, bearing in mind, this is 04, this is 05, there's only a year's difference between them. This kind of carry on the dash, just very old school. And the most annoying thing in the world is the fact that to have the time on it, you've got to have it there, but then if you want the temperature on it, you've got to do that. If you want to know your miles per gallon, you're on here. And it's just like, could they not have just had like a permanent clock somewhere so that I can just have the temperature on what I would like to have? I like the temperature being on, but at the same time it's annoying not having a clock. But, you know, little things like that. You know, like some kind of like what the Golfs did of this era, and the Audis have like an LCD display just showing like everything all in one go. It's just where they lacked a little bit, you know. And just generally, you just in this car, you know, it feels a lot older than what the other one. You know, just the general quality of the handles and things. It's just a totally different league. And that's obviously a hell of a lot more higher class premium car. But I don't know what one of these cost new. It probably wouldn't be far off the top of the, like a PD 150 Cupra to the Mercedes. I don't know. Obviously, that'll probably be more. But as you can see, that's not totally spec'd out. It doesn't have the parking sensors, doesn't have the heated seats, headlight washers. What else did I say? A few other things. So yeah, you know, I'm not saying that's all bells and whistles either. And you know, like the seats, like, it's the Cupra model. This bugged me on the one I had years ago. I'll jump out the sun's in me way. The one that I had years ago, this annoyed us. This is like a premium Cupra car. Yeah, it's got like some kind of sports seat on it, but why couldn't they not have had like Cupra? Just once you get into the car, you may as well, apart from the white dials, you may as well just be in a 1.4 normal Cupra. There's nothing in here which lets you know that you're in something special. Nothing on the gear stick. They did it on the Cupra R, but you know, I just thought they would have done a little bit more than green seats. You know, like some kind of sport green seats. I thought they could have done a bit better. I must admit that did disappoint us from day one on these, actually. I'll just pull the bonnet. You've seen the one and the other one, but this engine is just fantastic in this car. That's what really sells it for me. Nothing really to see, it's just plastic covers, but honestly, what a gem that engine is. 50,000 mile, it runs like new, pulls like, yeah, a train, I'm going to say it. And the aircon, it's lovely having that as well, working. So yeah, and again, no DPF. I'm a bit annoyed that's got the DPF on, I have to admit. It's not really what I want, but I kind of do nothing about it, really. But yeah, quick walk round and a bit of a chat. But yeah, like I've said, 04, 05, does look lovely, that. So does that in a completely different way. That's elegance, that's sportiness, in my opinion. In the 4-5 doors, obviously appeal. But I'm not going to I would ever put the dog in this one anyway, and know that. So the 3-door thing doesn't bother us too much. Boot wise, I don't think there's a great deal in it, actually, to be totally honest with you. But yeah, obviously walk around this, you've seen it, but may as well put it in. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment below. If you could have either of these two cars, naturally, I understand if you've got a family and stuff. As you know, I've got other cars anyway, so don't try to outcast this because the fact it's a 3-door, or upcast that 'cause it's a 5-door. I'm just talking, you know, just which one would you rather have? Just either as a project, a toy, an everyday car, whatever. But what would you rather have? Not based on what you think of previous experience of these cars, as in the fact of what I've just shown you, what each of these are. The fact they've both just got 50,000 mile, both diesels. Auto and manual, that might be the deciding thing. So there, just thought I would do that bit. Let's come back, the sun's blinding us. I'll come out over here into the garage. So I'm just going to leave it here. Like I mentioned, for now, I've sawned the Seat, taxed the Merc, and we're way down to Crofts on this weekend coming. I'm going to take the Mercedes because it's been ages since I think it's had a proper run, to give it a good clear out. Doesn't need anything done to it though. So yeah, what do you think? Do you like them? Do you not like it? Which car would you rather have? I just thought I'd do a bit of a different video here on this and let us know what you think of my new cars. Obviously I've got the Civic, I've got the ML, all the rest of it, you know, so I've got a few knocking around at the minute. So yeah, I'll leave this one here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll try and get this put together and put out sometime through the week and get it edited. So I'll catch you in another video. Please leave a comment, let us know what you think, hit the like, and like I've already mentioned, I'm not going to keep going on about it. Hit the subscribe, man. You know, if 80% is unsubscribed, just takes 2 seconds. Hit the button. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye.